Morning guys, how are you all doing? Welcome to this video all about abundance. Look at this guys, I've got up especially early because it means there's no one around. Hopefully the sound is going to be good, but look at this guys, lovely isn't it? Absolutely lovely. So before we get into this, I've got a bit of a sore throat this morning. So what I'm going to do is I will download the audio for this and then put it through like a podcasting AI tool to make my voice sound normal. But for those that want to stick with the video, here's the video. If not, below this video I'll put an audio on there so you can listen to it without the coughing, if there is some. Anyway, so this video is all about abundance. I hope that you're really gonna enjoy this. This is gonna be very much like off the cuff. I'm just gonna download maybe an hour, something like that, of thoughts that kind of come up, which I know have served me, and I hope they will serve you. This is stuff which I've used myself, stuff which I've given to my clients, my one-to-one clients, and I've seen it work for them very well. So I thought, yeah, we'll just have a walk, a chat. We'll hopefully go for about, 40 minutes, but we'll see it. It may be longer, maybe less, but we'll just hang out, go through some real cool stuff. So, welcome. Thanks for showing up. It's a big thing. This conversation we're about to have could really change the game. Abundance is something that I've struggled with. And it's something, if you're coming from a place of scarcity in business, it's miserable. Completely miserable. So just so you know, this isn't going to be like a hypey session. This is going to be, well, it's definitely not going to be a webinar. I hope you can see that. This is just a core training, I hope. This is like real insight, real strategy for like online coaches, entrepreneurs. And really for people who've kind of had enough of playing small, watching other people having huge success and wondering why they're not, coaches who really know how to help people, but they've been super quiet, they're scared to sell, they're scared to reach out, they're second guessing everything. This is for you, okay? Especially if you feel stuck in the shadows, especially if you feel like that. So yeah, this is going to be good. One thing after coaching hundreds of entrepreneurs is that there's many common themes. One of the big ones is people just can't figure out why sales, clients, and abundance feel so far out of reach. It's the common complaints. Common complaints. So we're gonna today hopefully flip all these conversations on its head and really help you. The other thing I've learned as well is that people are always looking for a funnel, for a script to download, thinking how can I hustle more. You don't need any of those things. What you need to see is why abundance responds to who you are, not just what you do. And it really responds to who you are. So we're diving into all this good stuff. So let me say this. Abundance does not respond to action alone. Abundance responds to identity. And when you shift how you see yourself and how you see the world, you kind of shift how others will respond to you. You'll see that your sales conversations will be different. how you show up in your content is different, your energy will shift, all of that great stuff. So if you're ready to finally get to the root cause why clients are not coming to you consistently, this video is for you. So here we go, let's begin. So let me catch my breath. Right, so let's start off by clearing something up from the start, because the word abundance gets thrown around a lot in the online space and in industry as a whole. And if you're anything like me, you've probably rolled your eyes at some of it. Let me give you some examples. You just have to raise your vibration. You just have to be open to receiving. You just have to trust the flow. And hey, I'm not mocking that at all. In fact, I've sat in that world. I've seen the good things it can do. But let's be real. If you're not getting clients and someone's just telling you to feel more abundant, that doesn't really sit very well, and it can be very frustrating, because what the hell does that mean? Just feel more abundant. It doesn't help. It doesn't help you get a client today. It doesn't help move the needle. It definitely doesn't help you make money. Abundance, believe it or not, in my view, is not just a feeling, it's actually a framework. And when you realize abundance isn't some magical force that visits you when your energy is high enough and you're in vibration, and it's not something you have to wait for, it's not something you kind of have to get perfect, okay? It's something you build in your mind, your actions, and your identity. It's found in those three things: mind, actions, and identity, the core three. That's the lens I want you to hold for the rest of our time together on this walk. So Napoleon Hill famously said, you become what you think about all day long. So Napoleon Hill said, you become what you think about all day long. So let me ask you something honestly. What have you been thinking about? Have you been thinking about, man, clients are just not coming fast enough? Comparing yourself to other people online. Instantly, worst thing you can do. Are you worrying if your content is not good enough? Are you worrying about those things? Now, worrying, that's not abundance. That's called scarcity. And there's many things like this can be seen as scarcity in disguise. And it shows up not just in how you feel, but how you sell. And this is what I've seen again and again and again in the hundreds of coaches I've worked with. And I can give you an example. I can work with two coaches, same training, same offer. One gets clients, one gets complete crickets, as the saying goes, complete silence. But why is this? It's because sales doesn't start in your strategies, doesn't start in the tactics and strategies. It starts in your self-image, and you can't outmarket the identity that you are carrying, the identity that you hold inside. I call this our internal laws. I'll do a separate video on it. It's a really interesting topic. But anyway, we're starting to question things like this, because when we have those things, tactics and strategies are all good, like how to do the perfect DMs, the hooks, the funnels, that's great. But I want to start with this question, which is way more important. Who do you believe you are in the marketplace? Do you see yourself as someone worth paying? Do you think your coaching is good enough for someone to pay you? High ticket. Do you see yourself as someone who moves people? Do you see yourself as a leader or someone just hoping to be picked? Because this matters. Because abundance isn't waiting to show up once you get it right. No. It's basically not waiting for you to outsource your value. It's doing the opposite. It's waiting for you to stop outsourcing the value, how you see yourself. So the important thing to understand in this conversation is abundance is not hype. It's how a grounded, decisive coach leads themselves. It's how you think. It's how you move. It's how you choose to hold yourself accountable when the evidence is not there yet. Yeah, when the success is not there, when the the likes are not there yet, when the cash is not there yet, when people aren't singing your praises yet. All of these things are so important. Okay? So how we choose to hold ourselves, think about ourselves, when there's no evidence is so important. And again, I'm gonna refer to Napoleon Hill a lot because, you know, he is the guru at this stuff. And Napoleon Hill, you know, he's really the guy that put all of these things together deeply. So Napoleon Hill said, success comes to those who become success conscious. So success comes to those who become success conscious. Napoleon Hill. That's the bar, okay? It's not being tactic conscious. It's not being strategy conscious. It's definitely not manifestation conscious. It's success conscious, which means you see yourself as someone who wins before the results arrive. You see yourself as someone who wins way before results arrive. Now, what does that mean? When do you do that? Okay, well, you stop chasing validation. That's the big one. Don't outsource validation to third parties. That's a big trap I even found myself in an awful many times in the early days. Here we go, guys. Look at this. Lovely. Some beach huts for people here, right on the ocean. Anyway, we'll keep walking. So, yeah, stop chasing validation, okay? If you're waiting for validation before you can get results, it's never going to come. So, the idea is you start calling in clients without force, without panic, without pretending, okay? This is the idea, is that we start trying to do it without having to, get the validation first. So how do we really define abundance? Let's look at what's actually blocking it, because most coaches think they're not in scarcity because they say things like, I trust the process, I believe clients are coming, I'm not desperate, I'm focused. But let me challenge you. Scarcity doesn't always look desperate. Sometimes it looks perfect. It can look like a strategy. It can even look spiritual. And you can be in scarcity whilst posting every single day. You can be in scarcity while delivering massive value. You can be in scarcity while doing everything right, because scarcity isn't about how much you're doing, it's about how much you're protecting yourself from. Let me break this down. Okay, so you don't post your real story because you're afraid it won't be professional enough. Now, what the hell does that even mean? But so many people are always worried, oh man, this won't resonate with people, it's not professional enough, everyone else has the qualification, the certificate, blah, blah, blah. If I don't have that, then they're going to look at me and they're going to pick the other person. Welcome to the world of scarcity, okay? When we come from this place, not great. Also, you don't make a bold offer because you're afraid the offer will be ignored. Think about that. You don't send a Google Doc, you don't send a link, whatever it may be, because you're afraid it's going to be ignored. Okay, you undercharge because deep down you're still trying to prove that you're worth it. Very common one. Very common one. This is not strategy. This is not service. That's scarcity wearing, how can we put this? Scarcity wearing your brand DNA, your brand colors, okay? So, again, Napoleon Hill said something very relevant here, which is fears are nothing more than a state of mind. So fears are nothing more than a state of mind. Let that sort of sit with you for a minute, because here's the problem. If you state in your mind, if your state of mind is fear, then your content is laced with caution. You're worried about saying this and that and this and that. And yeah, your content will literally scream this, okay? Your sales calls, your DMs, everything like this will just be in a place of hesitation and fear. And no one buys when they get that kind of feeling from someone. And if your abundance fills it, people will know. If you're coming scarcity, they really will. Let's sit down for a minute, guys. Oh, I didn't even come out with a drink. Already walked for an hour to get here. Look at this. What do you think, guys? Beautiful. Lovely morning. Anyway, so yeah, people will feel if you're coming from a place of scarcity. So I want to give you, let's say, 3 hidden ways scarcity shows up in most coaches' businesses. And I want you to check in, like really check in, if any of these feel true, or they speak to you, or you feel like you're trying to do this stuff, okay? So number 1, let me prove myself energy. Let me prove myself energy. What do I mean by this? You over deliver. You give, without ever truly inviting. And you justify it by saying, well, I want to help people first. But deep down, that's not generosity. You're scared of rejection. And that fear makes you invisible. That's 1. And I don't know, does that sound like you? Number 2, I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet loop. Constantly refining your offer, tweaking your niche, adjusting your message, not because you're evolving, no, you're still the same place, but because you're afraid to go all in. So you stay in planning mode, safe from failure mode, but safe from success. You're not going to get success. And number 3, the just trust cop-out. You say you trust the process. You say you believe in abundance, but you secretly are avoiding things that would actually move the needle. So for example, you're not sending the DMs. You're not doing cold outreach. You're saying the real thing. You're not saying the real stuff in your posts. You're not making an offer which you know that will serve the other person because it scares you. Because you've mistaken alignment with avoidance. You hear this from a lot from coaches. Oh, it's just not an alignment, and you make a load of excuses. No, it's avoidance, because we're fear, and we tell ourselves that it's not in alignment. No, it's because you're scared. So if this sounds familiar, that's the work. And of course, there's loads of other things, but just know this is the main work. It's not fixing a funnel. It's not taking a photo. It's not, the bio, it's not figuring out your brand colors. The work is shifting out of scarcity, because until you do, every single strategy you try, okay, is just not going to work. It's just not going to work, because every strategy you try will be built on a very, very shaky foundation. And this means, you're not going to be able to make 100% use of that strategy. No man can succeed in a line of endeavor which he does not like, the podium hill. Meaning we have to really enjoy it, and you cannot like your business if you're in a place of fear. So you have to come and really love and enjoy your business, according to the podium hill, and I believe it so much. So let me know after this training if any of those speak to you. And of course, like I said, there's loads more. Okay, but now you see it, hopefully, that scarcity isn't about what you do, it's about what you believe you have to protect. And abundance is about identity. The abundant coach isn't waiting to feel confident. They're leading like someone who already has it. They're already saying, yeah, I am confident, let's go. Let me say that again. You don't wait to feel abundant. You move from the decision that it's already there, okay? That you already have abundance. Because you can't create new results from the same self-concept. The clients you want, the income you want, the momentum you want and you crave, they live at a higher level of identity than the one that's keeping you stuck. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. The podium hill. Write that down. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. So let's talk about how to shift your identity. And we're going to do this in a practical way, not with a way for philosophy, because as an amazing training Dan Kennedy said one day, he said these words: you can't take philosophy to the bank. And it's so true. So let's talk about how to shift your identity, okay, practically. So this isn't about standing in the mirror screaming affirmations all day long. Now, of course, this can work. Power of auto-suggestion, go read it, The Podium Hill. But I think there's a better way of doing this, and it's about taking on a new internal standard, because identity is not built on hype. Identity is built on habits. Let me give you 3 things that create identity level change for coaches. Number 1, speak as the version of you who already has clients. Now, I'm not saying fake it. No. I'm saying we speak like it, because leadership starts in language. If you speak like someone who's hoping to be picked, oh, please pick me, you'll attract people who will basically really hesitate to choose you. But if you speak like someone who's worth choosing, you will attract people who are ready to buy. It's very, very true. These 2 things exist. I'm not saying fake it. I'm saying you need to speak and have language like you already have it, okay? And the second thing is move through fear like someone who's used to winning, okay? It's not that the abundant coach feels no fear. You're always going to have fear, okay? But what they say is that fear is not the final decision maker, okay? They don't post when it feels good. They post when it's time. They don't sell when it's safe. They sell because they believe in their work. That's what creates trust in the abundance of themselves. 3, sales from service, not from survival. Scarcity says, oh, I hope they buy, I hope they buy, I hope they buy. Abundance says, this is going to change your life. The difference isn't confidence, it's clarity. Because when you're clear that your coaching helps people, you stop trying to convince people and you start inviting very boldly. and you stop undercharging, overgiving, hiding behind value bombs that never leads to like a decision. So Napoleon Hill said, create a definite plan for carrying out your desire and begin at once. Not tomorrow, not next week, at once. No one becomes the abundant version of themselves by thinking about it. You become it by living it now. So not when you have a 10K month, okay, you can't wait. Not when you get more engagement. Let me say it very clear. If you wait to shift your identity until results show up, you will never get them. But if you shift who you are right now, the results will start chasing you and you are not chasing them. Let me show you, maybe with this in a minute, I'll show you some more examples of what I mean. Let's talk about the most important thing that coaches really don't want to talk about, sales. This is where it could all go wrong. And this is where normally it all kind of shows up, because most coaches avoid sales from what I've seen. So coaches tend to love to meditate, journal and visualize and do all that type of stuff. But the second you step into a sales conversation, some very noisy dog walkers coming now, bear with us. So what was I saying? We've got sidetracked. There's some noisy people coming. Let's keep walking for a minute and we'll get back into it. So sales, okay? In my opinion, sales is where this really shows up super quick for people, okay? This is where coaches leak. I don't think leak is even a strong enough word. Bleed power. This is where the truth gets really exposed, because sales isn't, honestly, it's not really even what you say. Trust me, after selling hundreds of thousands online and hundreds of thousands again for other coaches online, millions I've sold offline in the pharmaceutical world and all that good stuff. I mean, words help, of course, right? They do. But what matters way more is how you feel when you're saying the words, the tonality you're using, the you can tell if someone's not vibing and not feeling it, okay? So what Napoleon Hill says on this is that the subconscious mind will translate into its physical equivalent by the most direct and practical means available, any order of which is given to the same state of belief. Okay, let's break that down. It means the state you're in when you speak determines how the other person hears it. So it means that when you state things is how the other people hear it. So people can hear things through your tone, the actual words you say, and your body language. These are the big three. And people can pick up if your body language is not good, if the words you're using are disempowering, if your tone is coming from a place of scarcity, not confident. People can really pick this up, okay? So, if you doubt, so you don't really believe and you're doubting something, guess what? They're going to hesitate. If you're in scarcity, it really comes across like this, pressure, because they can feel your desperation, because all you can think about is making a sale. And that translates into their world as pressure. Really does. Pressure. So, if you're in abundance though, and you're like, yeah, this is great. Like, I'm so grateful for the thousands of people out there that need my work, and
That's abundance. And when you show up thinking about what can you give opposed to what you can get. If you kind of think, what am I going to give this person? What does this person need right now? There's always plenty of clients, but how can I help this person now? They will feel that abundance. They will feel safe, okay? They will get pulled in. They will trust your certainty more than their own fear. And that's when people buy, because people want to buy your certainty. Certainty that you have in yourself, the certainty that you have in helping them, the certainty that you have in them and being able to do the thing. That's what people really, really, really want. So the question isn't, do you have the perfect offer? Most coaches say, oh, how's your offer? Let's start there. You know, the first call they have, oh, your offer's, yeah, we need to look at your offer. If your offer's not right, it's not going to happen. You know, if your offer's not right, you're not going to get your money right, all that good stuff. It's not the question. It's, do you carry the energy of someone I can trust to lead me? That's the question which your prospects are asking themselves. And you need to ask that as well. Are you showing up as someone who can lead them to the success that they're after, the goals they're hoping to achieve, the result, the outcome? That's the buying signal. That's what, in my opinion, sells. It's not a trick, it's not a funnel, it's not a discount, it's not bonuses, it's the energy. I am someone who can help you. Do you feel that energy? That's what energy really, really means. So, let me give you 3 practical ways to shift your sales energy. Because sales is the thing that everyone really struggles with. So, I'm going to do this now. Breathe before you speak. Simple. But when you're in a sales conversation and you're chasing the close and you're being nervous about, oh, let me show you the offer, whatever it may be, breathing is so helpful, because when you're not breathing, you're trying to perform. Okay? So when you breathe, just ask yourself this in your head. Am I leading this person, or am I being fake? Am I leading this person? Am I helping this person? Or does my energy say I'm desperate? Just give yourself little check-ins to just say, look, am I really showing up my best version of myself to serve this person? Yeah? Am I really showing up like someone that can help this person? Okay? And then serve like one. But this breath gives you a little check-in. Okay? It's very, very, very important. So guys, it's getting a bit later now. There's people waking up. Businesses are opening. Some cars around. So if there's some noise, I apologise. Again, I'll do some editing and put the audio file below in case it gets too crazy. But hang on, let's keep going. Where we're at, that was number 1. Number 2. Number 2 is sell like someone who already has enough. So you sell like someone who already has all the finances they could ever have. All the clients they could ever wish for. Okay? Sell like someone who already has enough, even if you don't. Even if your Stripe account is empty, it always has been. Why? Because abundance isn't a result, it's a position. And the more you lead from that energy, the more your kind of nervous system, and I hate using nervous system because I know it sounds woo-woo, but it's true. It is true. It's your nervous system will start to trust you, and people will start to trust you as well, okay? So if you're always saying, if there's no money in my stripe, if you're coming from that place, scarcity, again, they're going to really pick up on that energy. The third thing is, don't shrink when they hesitate. Not if, when. More often than not, they're going to have an objection. They're probably going to flinch at your price. Often, there's often many reasons why someone will flinch. Okay, so you have to not react. Okay, so don't shrink. Don't jump to a discount. Okay, don't backpedal. Don't try to over-justify. Don't try and keep trying to sell. It's all the worst things that people do. If you want to learn to sell properly, give me a shout. Be happy to help you out. I have some programs on this. We go into the art, the science of sales psychology for you and for the people buying, the mindset, tactics and all that jazz. So just drop me a message. This has been an ad, as Frank Kern would say, but I'm serious. If you want to get good at sales, I know I can help you. And you sounded like my barrister self then, beyond a reasonable doubt. Anyway, don't backpedal. Hold your frame, because abundance never chases. Abundance invites. Abundance holds space, and it trusts that the right people will rise and come work with you. It's really, really saying, I know there are more than enough people out there for me. And if this person was to say no, good. It just means I got to keep looking for the right person, because they're out there. And they are out there. They really, really are out there. And the more you can kind of instill that, the easier it becomes. You know, there are billions of people on this planet. You only need to convince 10 of them to work with you to have a great life. Everyone can find 10. Whether you're teaching beach volleyball, how to drive a car, whatever it may be, okay? There's always 10 people you can find for your coaching, okay? There's a world of abundance out here. You know, even if we stand here in this remote spot, look at all the businesses. There's a business here, there's a business there, there's businesses all along there, there's one just here, there's one just here. There's abundance everywhere, there's money everywhere. There's people making money everywhere. You just have to look and see it. You know, look at all these, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, all these big cargo ships going along here, yeah? Think of how much stock and goods and money is on those ships. Jeez. There's abundance everywhere, okay? Anyway, let's get back into the training. So by now, hopefully something is clicking inside, okay? Hopefully something is. And that shift is how, hopefully, you're seeing yourself. And that question rising up, what if this is the real work I've been avoiding? And if that's kind of happening, that's great, because it is the work you've been avoiding, okay? I'm so excited if that's coming up for you now. That means you're getting under the surface, because every coach has strategy fatigue. But what they really want is to flip the 4 internal switches that control how abundance actually works for them. There's 4. Again, comes from good old Napoleon Hill and some other stuff I've read, but let me walk you through them. And before I go through them, another Napoleon Hill quote: there are no limitations to the mind except those that we acknowledge. Napoleon Hill. So, first thing is, we need to stop acknowledging limits. Let's shift into something way more powerful. And like I said, come from this place, because we're going to go through 4 switches. Switch number 1, abundance switch, is moving from proving to positioning. Proving is rooted in insecurity. Okay, we're insecure. Okay, if you're constantly trying to justify your value, you over deliver, you undercharge, and you hope is not a strategy, you hope someone notices. Positioning is different. Positioning says, I know I have value, I'm not here to prove my value, I am here to lead. When you show up like this, you sell with more confidence, you speak with more confidence, because you're more certain, you're clear. People will pick this up and it will start giving you more confidence. Okay, you stop trying to be liked and you start being trusted. This mindset switch is big because it will affect your pricing, your messaging, your posture, and just your general day-to-day mindset. Abundance switch number 2, from pressure to presence. Coaches in scarcity feel like every post needs to convert. It doesn't. Every DM has to lead somewhere. It doesn't. You have to close every single sales call. It doesn't. It doesn't. When you come from a place like this, everything's a push and a struggle. And people, again, can feel it. Abundance coaches show up to serve. They trust in the right time. They're present and they're not performing. And ironically, they sell way more because presence is power. Okay, abundance switch number 3, from waiting to leading. Waiting looks like I will go all in next week. I'll go all in when I get my first client. I will go all in when it just feels right. I will put my prices up when I get proof. I'll put my price up when I get more testimonials. I'll call myself a leader once I have more traction. Now, the abundance switch is this. You act as if, you move first, you decide, you declare, you deliver. And then the world has to catch up with you. Abundance never arrives to the version of you that's always hesitating. It arrives to one that leads. Okay, big one. Okay, next one is abundance switch. Where do we get? Oh, number 4. This is a big one. It's from what if it doesn't work to what if this is it. This is a big one because the question you carry quietly controls your business. If you wake up every morning asking, what if I post and no one responds? What if I try and sell and I get crickets? What if I try and I fail again? That energy bleeds into everything. But if you switch the question just slightly, everything changes. Well, what if this is it? What if this works? What if this post, this message, this call is the thing that opens the floodgates? Now, this is not delusion. This is abundance. And it's not pretending. It's choosing the possibility on purpose. All achievement, all earned riches have their beginning in an idea, the podium hill. This is the idea. Now it's time to live it. Okay? It's so important. That switch of how you show up, what if this is it? What if this is the thing that works? Can be the game changer for you. Okay? So, hopefully this has been interesting. I hope it's just not me being rabbiting on for however long it's been. Some cool little birds there, that's nice. So I hope this has been useful. I just want to say I'm going to be launching a course all about abundance, but it's to do with subconscious reprogramming. It's going to be through hypnosis training, a longer course. If you're interested in this, reach out. I'm working on it at the moment. But I want to leave you with this. A quitter never wins. A winner never quits. Good old Napoleon Hill. Okay? So if you've been hiding, hesitating, holding back,
and you're ready to take things to the next level of abundance, I would love to have an honest conversation with you. Below this video, I'll drop a link. There'll be like a button. Click on there, and then what we'll do, we'll have something which I call a breakthrough call, where we kind of work out what your biggest goal is. What's the biggest block holding you back? Is it abundance? Is it something else? We'll get to the root problem, and then I'll give you a battle plan, the exact steps on how to start going out there and getting success for you, your family, your business, whatever you need. Just put the breakthrough call and we can hang out and make stuff happen for you. I hope there's been value here, guys. Please, at very least, give me a DM, just say you gave me some ideas. Even one idea can change your life and change your business. Anyway, I think everyone's, like I said, it's waking up. Let me see what the time is now. Yeah, okay, we've been on for 45 minutes, which is cool. It's now just come to 6:30 in the morning. So on that, guys, I wish you the best day. I hope this has been helpful. Wishing you all the abundance and success, and I'll see you hopefully in another training someday. Take care, guys.